And it's just so much good stuff, even in those stories. Because what I want some of you guys to do over the next is actually like take a minute and record something, or write up a post and share it in the group page. Of it doesn't have to be some giant chapter book, but like condense it a little bit. But take a minute or two and tell a little story of something that could encourage somebody in the group, that can give somebody tips that's helped you along your health and fitness journey and mindset, and things that obviously we all think and hear and do things differently. I hire mentors every single year. I'm constantly working with somebody, and it's not always that I'm learning new things, guys. It's just that I'm hearing things differently from somebody else. I mean, there's so much information it's regurgitated for the most part, but it's the way that we hear it. It's why I repeat myself so often with you guys, because I'll say something slightly different on one week versus a month or two ago, and it's something that you went through in the last week, the way the temperature is that day, and something that it just connects with you, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I've never heard you say that, Jordan. I'm like, what are you talking about? I've been talking about this for 4 months, and so it's one of those pieces where it's I sometimes feel repetitive, but I know that it has to continue to do that, so you soak in, and it becomes an embodiment in your life. So do that. Share some of that story. Share those positive pieces of what you've gone through, and tell it and post it. Because if it serves one person, amazing. That's why I created the group too. And I'm not just like always just talking to you in the app, like we all do. But it's like the group page is there for the extra support, for the encouragement, so you can see others winning, so you can see others' recipes, so you can see other people living life. Don't feel like you can't post in there and share some of your life. It is made for us all to encourage one another, and because we live in a world that's oftentimes frowned upon, right? We get so much negative. Let's have a positive piece within this and continue and utilize that. So I just want to re-encourage you guys to do that. So some of the questions that you guys brought into this, I'm just going to start off, and as we go, if you have a question stimulating off the question I asked, or I want you just to raise your hand in the chat or come off mute and be like, hey, I got something on that, and ask the additional question so we can keep the flow of that question going, and just have a good conversation too. So that's my goal for tonight. And we'll rock here for the next 20-30 minutes and just go over as much as we can. I kind of highlighted a bunch that I want to make sure to go over, and there's still another like 15 that I didn't even highlight. So we'll do what we can. Some of them are going to be fast, some of them will be a little slower. If one of them here, if you have to break down your workout to just 30 minutes, what is better? Run through the session like the reps like 2x, versus if I have you on a 3 or 4 times through, run through it 2 times each set, or just do the session until the 30 minutes is up. And the answer to this, and Jen, this is yours. Jen's on here, so I'm just going to name drop. Either is totally fine. So if you want to go smashing hard and get through as much as you can in that 30 minutes, that is a complete win. If you're like, you're looking ahead and you can kind of see a couple exercises that you're like, I want to make sure I get to those. Or maybe you did the full 30 minutes in week 1 and 2, and you're like, I only have 30 minutes again here, and I'm not getting to those exercises towards the bottom of the workout. You change that up. Maybe hit that bottom of the workout first so you get those other exercises. Or just do the 2 sets through and get to the whole thing. If you still have another 6 or 7 minutes, boom, you can jump back up and hit another set. So either one of those options is totally okay. Just go as hard as you can for that 30 minutes, okay? Any questions on that, guys? Straightforward one there. Okay, sweet. Any tips for exercising when you're on vacation? Everybody's on here, and this is the tip. Message me before you go on vacation so I can make the adjustment in the calendar for you. Dan, my guy, is on vacation right now, and he was traveling prior to that on another trip. And one of the trips we decided, he was in Arizona, and I was like, dude, you're going to be out on the hiking trails. I want you to go hike and enjoy. That's going to be your exercise. And so we didn't worry about putting things in, but sometimes for other people when they're on vacation, they take bands with them. I'll write up some band workouts for them. Some people know they have a hotel gym, and I'll put in some dumbbell work for them. So make sure to let me know and we'll plan together on that. That's my tip. Okay. That's straightforward. We should be all good on that. Um, what is the key? Here's some just basic stuff. This is a good one from Lamar. He's been in here for a while. What is the key to food prep? My wife doesn't eat red meat, so we struggle with finding the balance. More concerned, I know a couple of you in here like this as well. More concerned with dinner, as I have the same breakfast every day. I mix up lunch depending on where I'm working from home or in the office. So this is my tip there. Don't stress about it if you're having shrimp or chicken more or fish in those evening meals. Make sure we're getting in some red meat multiple times a week. Add those lunches if we can. Or this is what me and my wife do. My wife loves salmon and shrimp. I despise it. Unless I'm down on the coast, I don't want to smell shrimp. And I'm just not a salmon guy unless I'm up in Alaska. So Michael's over there laughing. He's probably this life too. And so I even hate the smell of shrimp cooking. When I walk in the house, I'm like, good God, get it out of my house. And so we oftentimes, like, if we're making something, we have the rice and the veggies going. She has shrimp going in the skillet and she has steaks going for me and the kids. Like, it's not a big deal to throw a second skillet on the thing, guys. It's people cook surf and turf all the time. They have two things going. So it's okay to have a chicken breast going in one and a steak going in the other. It's all good. And so definitely don't be afraid to do the both, or just don't worry about it. Have what she's having, and you make sure you're getting in those red meats at those lunches to make sure you're getting in those vitamins, those minerals that you need from some red meat. Okay. And I know we oftentimes have red meat questions in here too. And this wasn't a question this week, but I'm going to hit on it. Just this kind of goes off of Jen. This was a previous Jen question. Jen's a rancher out west here in South Dakota. And so they have a ton of beef, and that's most of us South Dakotans do. And when you're having more beef in our diet, our fat content elevates typically. So we get in more fat content. And so to make up for that, we do need to get in some chicken at those other meals or some fishes. But the other thing we can do is, hey, all of our fat content should be coming from meat for the most part then. Try not to do those peanut butters and the cheeses, because that just throws our fat content up through the roof. And then at times where you're having other fats on those days, lean towards that leaner ground beef when possible. Lean towards the sirloin steaks versus the ribeyes. Those little pieces are always going to be good. I'd much rather eat a ribeye every day, but I definitely take in way more sirloins just because of the fat content. So, okay.
I have a question. Can I interrupt? I have a question on that. So,
Yes.
steak and red meat is quite different here.
Yeah.
It is nothing like in the States. It's much better in the States, and they don't have like you can't get a ribeye. I don't know. Like it's just totally different.
Okay.
So, I admittedly have barely been eating any red meat, and I'm now feeling like I'm going to be scolded. And but like so,
You're good.
I've tried like ground beef, but I guess what would be a good proportion to having it? I mean, I'm trying to find some stuff, and it winds up being more expensive than
Yeah.
the States.
Yep.
In some cases, so like, what would be a good proportion? Just so like, hey, I can make focus on it, but as far as how often every week, I wind up eating a buttload of chicken. The chicken's amazing.
I
Best
would,
chicken I've ever had.
then I wouldn't worry about it. You know what I mean? Keep enjoying your chicken, enjoy the fish that you guys have at some of those markets, once in a while. And when you're
Yeah,
like craving that steak or that burger, account for that and go
yeah,
grab one a week. You know what I mean? If you
yeah.
could at least
I ju-
grab a steak once a week, that would be a win.
okay, yeah. I probably
Yeah.
just figure it out. Go to the butcher or
Yeah.
see what's up,
Yep.
and yeah, I do have burgers sometimes. Like they absolutely love hamburgers here,
Okay.
so there's burgers all over the place. But I try not to eat them as much as because they put a lot of stuff on them too. Like there's not very simple burgers, and then obviously carbs with buns and stuff like that. But cool, thanks. I'll
Yeah.
get to
Yeah.
that.
That's perfect, man. That's a great question. Okay. Here's more of like a personal style one, guys. Kind of change it up here. And I think we've all struggled with this. How do I stay motivated in the course when I'm feeling stagnant? I know it's mainly discipline, but there has got to be something else to help me keep my head in it because I've been out of it for a minute. And so here's the first thing. We need to, in those moments, because I was having one of these for the last 2 months prior to this last month when it comes to my business. So same application. I didn't force myself to just snap out of it, Jordan, because my automatic response to things is just put my head down and work harder. But when I just put my head down and work harder, I'm also not listening to what maybe something I'm supposed to be learning in the moment. Okay, so this comes into more of the esoteric teaching, right, that we do sometimes of the, hey, we need to pause. We need to think about things. It doesn't give us an excuse to be lazy. So hear me on that too. It doesn't give us an excuse to abuse not doing something. That's never the answer. We should stay moving. We should always stay moving, but it means we should get present in our thoughts and the way that we're feeling and start asking the questions. We've been talking about this for a while. Ask the better questions to yourself. So in that moment of I'm feeling stagnant, we should be asking, why am I actually feeling stagnant? Or where is this feeling coming from? And sit with it. Don't rush through it. Don't have your phone in your hand. Don't, you know what I mean? Like turn off the music in the podcasts and go sit under a tree. I'm dead serious, you guys. Like I spent the last month, I spent so much time outside on my back patio, or like you guys see me walking every day. I do that on purpose. I'm not saying a lot when I go on those walks, and I just put like never miss, never miss. You guys see them on my stories, never miss. There's a reason. I'm also showing an example of what I do so I can do what I do. And so that time alone, quiet, is very important for me to be able to respond the right way, because I can be short-tempered, to actually stop and be in my feelings, not in a negative way, but like asking myself the better question, working through things and hearing so I can propel out of what it is. And because we always look for answers outside of us. That's exoteric. We're looking for all the answers are external. We're searching. You guys, like Jesus said it the best. I'm not being religious all over you guys, but it's like he said, the kingdom is inside of you. So all of the answers that you're looking for are quite frequently, if you sit by yourself, whatever you believe, if you're by yourself and you get silent and you breathe like we talked about, it helps you just get like, for better words, like centered, some people use, or locked in, or just like quiet and like calm. And it'll clear out the mind a little bit, and you can actually go into that heart mind coherence that we talked about a few months ago. We let those connect. Okay. And oftentimes sometimes you might get the answer in a one sit down. Other times it might take you a month. And one little thing, one little feeling leads to the next day of sitting with it, and it leads to the next day. And all of a sudden you're like, I still haven't gotten an answer, but I feel better. Sometimes you don't get necessarily some like tangible thing to take, but it's you worked your way out of it. And oftentimes it's because we're disconnected from ourselves. And when you start pausing, you will start reconnecting, realigning, and that's when things improve. Okay? Anything on that? That's how you stay. That's how, and I froze. Hold on, I'm bringing it
Calm
back.
your nervous system.
I'm sorry, I froze, dude. Go ahead and talk, David.
Oh,
Sorry.
no worries. Yeah, I was just saying, like, it's scientifically proven that that breath work calms your nervous system. It reduces stress. I mean, I'm a meditator. I'm like close to 900 straight days. Like, it
Insane.
changes when you meditate. And I know that some people it may not be their thing, but there's prayer. There's a lot of things like the same thing going on a walk, and but functionally breathing, like
Yeah.
actually feeling the breath, and like it changes. You kind of hit on your parasympathetic nervous system that calms you, and it's been a huge game changer. So even just like walking and breathing, like focusing on your breath, can do a lot for your mental clarity and mental health.
Dude, so much. I need to repost the one from a few months ago where we talked about the inspiration and what that means. And we shift from motivation to inspiration. And if you guys remember that word inspire in the Latin, actually, that is obviously in, and the spiration is like the Latin word like spiro or whatever, I can't remember, but that actually means breath or spirit. It's the spirit inside of us. And then we're moved from the spirit in us versus looking for the exterior, which is the motivation. It's external, move to the internal. I need to repost that one. I need you'll find that. That's good, Dave. You reminded me of that. Okay. This is a really basic one, and I love it because we all need to hear this one. My main question is I'm up a few pounds, but yet my body seems smaller, but can definitely see my arms starting to fill out, as in like he's a dude, he's happy about that. And now, 6 months into this, so I normally am okay, there's a typo there. So the pounds, he's up a few pounds, but he's looking and feeling better. This is body recomposition, you guys. This is exactly it is good, and that's what he needed to do. He's lost a bunch of weight, and so there is times where we never, and this is if you're losing weight, because this happens all the time. I have in bodies, hundreds of them to prove it. People will work their butt off, and they'll be down 2 pounds, and they'll be pissed, and they'll come in, and I've worked my butt off for the last 12 weeks, and I'm pissed, and we get them on the in body, and they're down 8 pounds of fat, and they're up 6 pounds of muscle, and there's only 2 pounds difference. So we can't just go by the scale. That's why I wish we all you guys had access to in bodies, because it's really cool what you can see with that. But that's why we take the pictures. That's why I'm always like, guys, update your pictures. That's why I will update measurements occasionally as well. And that is why we need to fuel our bodies to eat. If you are under eating, you cannot body recomp. Your body has to be fueled adequately to drop fat and put on a little bit of skeletal muscle. And I will tell you guys, you are not going to get like a bodybuilder by lifting hard and eating enough. So you guys have some context to this. You guys have all seen photos of me, and this is not tooting my own horn. I work my butt off and eat really well, and I can only put on about a couple pounds of lean muscle a year. Granted, it was more in my early days, but the more trained you get, your genetic potential starts getting tapped. And so it's like, you guys, unless you're taking a bunch of steroids, guys, you ain't going to get huge. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I do not put on much size anymore. For me, it's all about just being healthy, getting lean, living the way I want to live too in that type. So lift hard, fuel your body. You will be so freaking pleased the result that happens over time. This does not happen overnight. It's a journey. This is where it gets cool though. You stick with this for 6 months, you're like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden 12 and 18 and 24, you guys, this takes years. It is awesome. What else are you doing? Like that's the part you have to get fit in your head though. This isn't ending anyway for you. Even if you're done in 12 months, your journey still has to continue. You're not done. So that's where you have to get to. Keep going. This is the rest of your life. You don't want to be in a nursing home. You have to be strong. You need strong legs. You need strong core, whatever. So we got to keep it going. That's the mindset we have to be in. Okay, well, guess what the next question was? How do I just keep going on the journey? So there we go. It's the mindset switch. This is my life. My life revolves around the most important things to me. So you define that. It is your job. You need to define that. If you have not sat down, if I asked you one-on-one, it's like, dude, what's the most important things in your life? You should be able to tell me, and not have to sit and think about it too much. You should know. For real, you should know. And some of those things you should not be afraid to answer. I'm very important to me because I know if I am not my best self, nobody will ever get to receive that best me. And how do you think the world has impacted you guys? Like God gave us all special things to share with the world. Like he literally said to you, you are the light of the world. He says, I am the light of the world. And then he turned around and he said, you are the light of the world. And that word light in the Greek is phos. It is the same translation when he said, I am phos of the world. He said, you are phos of the world. It's not a different light. You're the same light. Pretty crazy. You're pretty important. So don't feel like you're being arrogant by thinking that your health is important. Your mental health is important. What you're doing is important. It's very important. That is how the world is impacted positively. That's how you keep going on the journey right there. If I am drinking plenty of water, over a gallon per day, and in the bathroom a lot, should I be taking in more salt instead of just flushing it through? Absolutely. This is a great question. Hydration is not just about pounding more water. I had this talk with Jess before. I've had this talk with her dad. I trained both of them up here. And you cannot actually, you'll get to a point where if you're just drinking water, you actually will be dehydrating yourself. When I used to get people ready for bodybuilding shows, I would have them drink 2 gallons of water a couple of days before the show because they would start peeing so much. And then I would just cut their water off and they just pee it all out and they'd be dehydrated and they'd look awesome. So yes, you need electrolytes, specifically sodium. Do not be afraid of it when you're taking it in high quality forms. Sodium, and then potassium is way more important than you think it is too. I like to go like a 2-to-1 ratio on those. Like I have it I take in probably more sodium than most people, but it's very important. So yeah, good quality electrolytes, powders are great. But if you can even buy good quality sea salts, sea flakes for your food, cooking that, or you just have some of those in the morning, mix it in your water, put it in your mouth, also wonderful. Okay. Same thing. Another question on creatine. I know we've talked about creatine 100 times here, but I'm just going to quick touch it because everybody always talks about it. I've been taking it for 2 months, but really haven't noticed a big difference. I remember in the supplement Wednesday call a while back, you said that you were going to be off creatine, and we're going to see if you notice the difference. This is great feedback for you guys. I was off of it for like 3 weeks. I do my in-body reading like every week to 2 weeks to see where I'm at. And when I went off of it, I was off of it for like 2.5 weeks, and my water ratio, so it reads your water ratio between outside of your cell and inside of your cell, it absolutely plummeted. So what creatine does is it helps pull water intercellular into your cell. Everybody's always like, oh my God, it's going to make you hold water weight. That's good. But you want your cells to be hydrated. That also helps fat burning. It helps with how your cells pull glucose, like carbohydrates, into your cell to be used as energy. All those things are super important. And so I saw my waters fall completely off, which then on the reading, it showed my muscle fall off several pounds. That's just because of the water per se. And so I instantly knew like, oh yeah, there is a big, like I had the data to show. Yeah, because I went back 2 years in readings and I never had water that low. And I've been taking creatine for years. I literally got back on it that week, took a reading the next week. My water ratio is back up to where they always are. Intercellular, extracellular. And I looked way better. 100%. Like I could tell even in like when I was off it, I'm like, yeah, you're not quite as like just that full tight look that I normally have. Creatine is not necessarily something that you are going to feel anything. It's not like a feel supplement. It is you're taking it for the benefit of it. You might feel if you've never taken it before and you're taking adequate amounts, 10, 15 grams, you might feel a cognitive difference. There's so much good studies on the cognitive. You might feel better focused. It's a nootropic as well. So something to think about there. Okay. I'm going to go one more question here.
Jordan.
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
I saw this thing today that popped up on my feed, and I thought it was just going to be another creatine post. But then when I looked at it, it said L-carnitine.
L-carnitine.
Okay, that.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
L-carnitine's legit. You get L-carnitine in red meats. Okay. L-carnitine can help with fat metabolization. Most L-carnitines that you're going to take from a like sublingual in mouth form are garbage. You're not going to get any benefit from it. Most women get more benefit out of it than men. I think that's due to most men just take in more protein in general. For some women have insane results on it. It can happen, but it's like a very low percentage. When I used to work for that franchise supplement, we would have some women take it and we'd have them do in-bodies and we'd see, and like 15% of women, it was like the holy grail of fat loss for them. But it was such a low percentage. It was like, I'm not going to sell you the $60 bottle and hope it works for you.
They were really making it sound like you were just going to get shredded taking it.
So that being said, I take L-carnitine, but I take it in injectable form. I think it's actually, if you're going to take it, to me, it's cheaper to take it in injectable form. You can't mine needles. That's the hang up for most people. You know what I mean? But I think I take it for heart health. The studies for heart health that it shows are pretty cool too. So I take it like 4 times, 5 times a week. that way. And I have for 18 months, last 18 months or so. So yeah, take it or leave it for that. But I would not suggest anybody here spend their money on like just, I mean, you can, it's not bad for you. It just depends on your own, what you're doing. We've talked about supplements, right? You have your base ones that you need, and you have the luxury. And if you have the budget for luxury ones and want to take it, buy it for sure. I take luxury supplements too. So I'm not crapping on anybody who does. I think it's still wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna get to a couple here. This is a good one. I'm gonna sub this one down. Living where we live, like with seasons here up here in the Midwest. What are some things that keep you excited and look forward to, like the summertime workouts and keeping up momentum through those season changes? And for me, it's always getting out. I get out all year round, but I focus on summertime. I spend way more. I will get out on more hikes, more runs, more walks. So yes, use your time. If you're seeing like bike on your sheet, on your workout, you're seeing that and you want to be outside, go bike outside. Go walk outside. Take that time. Utilize the outdoors. Get in the sun, please. Do you feel bad if you have a bad food day? Like if you're out of control because there's so much going on or whatever? No, I don't. Because here's the thing, if you're locked in most of the time, dude, and you like go have an ice cream cone after your kid's softball game, like go have an ice cream cone with your kid. It's okay. Or if you have a full bad day, guess what? Go eat good tomorrow. Move on. Change it. Don't starve yourself. Okay. Get back on your normal nutrition. It's all good. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and yell at you for it because it does you no good. If you want me, like, obviously I'll be like, dude, we need to get it together. We've had 16 bad days out of the last 21. Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's a little different, right? But if you have a bad day and you're normally locked in, dude, move on. It's going to be okay. Okay. Best and easiest way to calculate macros or macro calculator. You've heard me say it. You just got to do it. Not 5 minutes a day if you're going to log it, right? It's 5 minutes a day. Now, with the new update that we have, it's about 60 seconds a day. If you want to utilize the new update, contact me. We'll get it turned on for you. It's like as simple as taking a photo now, and it's going to get you damn close. So if you hate logging and you want to do it the new way, we'll do it the new way. Okay? It's better than not logging. At least gives you data. Richard, you have your hand up, or are you just giving me a thumbs
I do.
up? Go.
Go. As far as the macro thing goes, because I know you have me at a certain calorie limit, I guess.
Yep.
And I go exceed it almost every day.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, is it possible that even like you put me at 23, I'm having anywhere from 25 to 3,000 calories a day. Is there any way with continually working out that you can like build into that calorie limit as you continue to work out, or is that not how it works?
You'll put on more weight.
Got you.
Just because your resting metabolic rate isn't high enough, and then with the activity, like when you were more active several months ago, when you were like walking all the time and like pushing stroll, you had more activity level. You know what I mean? So those things all play into account with that for sure. Yep.
Got you.
Yeah. Let's talk about that deeper too. Okay.
All right.
Dude, for sure. Okay, let's do this. Does anybody have any other questions while I'm on that you just need to ask me right now? No? Okay, last question right here. What are the best hacks to tackle sweet cravings? Anybody got any sweet hacks for that? I want to hear.
Cool. What?
Yeah, I use protein powder. Oh,
You're good.
Protein powder and yogurt, and like Greek yogurt, and then I use a little dark chocolate.
Heck yeah.
And berries. And I forget. I think it was Alan was posting made like a dessert. There's someone on Instagram I follow, Matt. Here, I'll put it. I'll try to find it. I know it's in the one of the posts really recently, but he does like a lot of these viral cooking recipes that are changing things out. Matt Walter Fit, that's what it is. And so there, some of them like bomb, but some of them are good. Some of them in the macros are like, oh, that's kind of a lot of carbs. Like it might not fit into what we're doing, but it's like really good. Like, he's always putting protein powder and stuff, and it's stuff that's like good ingredients. And it's like, wait, we're using eggs and this to make pudding. Like, it's like what? It's like these weird things that just wind up working,
Yeah.
that aren't like flour and sugar and things like that. So,
Is
something
that
like
the
that.
Australian guy?
No, he's I don't know exactly where he is, but he like has a farm, and
Oh,
he
okay. I'm thinking about somebody different.
and he does a thing where it's like he tries, like he does AI recipes and then just internet viral recipes, and he always stands in the kitchen with the apron on. He's like, it's like gas or trash, and he
Okay.
gives it like a gas or trash
I
rating.
wanted to say
And
it,
then,
but he'll slam it like doom, doom, doom.
oh
Oh yeah, you're talking about
no,
Matt West, the one where if you F or if it is
Yeah,
whether
if it
F's
F's
or
or S's.
S's. Yeah,
oh yeah, no, I
yeah.
didn't know him.
That's
But
fun.
there's some really good stuff that I have
Or
so
if it's a
many
really good
recipes
one, it's a
saved.
super F.
Richard, you're in
Yeah,
charge of a
Hi,
new
people.
a dessert recipe, a healthy dessert recipe for us this week, bro.
yeah.
No
You're in
kidding.
charge of it this
That
week,
does
dude.
sound pretty fire.
I'm gonna start giving everybody homework every week to bring something. I'm like, all right, Richard's week for dessert.
Well,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Good idea. I think it's a good idea. Everybody gives it a thumbs up. I think Katie's gonna give that a thumbs up for sure.
I'll give you a sideways something, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I found
Tucked at home.
I
Yes.
found those like was it True Fruit makes like freeze dried fruit with like dark chocolate, and those things are really good too if you need like a little sweet treat, which
Yeah.
I'm sure you could actually make at home if you wanted to take the time and effort to make like a dark chocolate
Yeah.
and then coat it and freeze it and all that type thing.
Yeah.
So
Other thing you could do, go buy some like aminos, like branched chain amino acids, like the flavored ones. They're 0 calorie. You're gonna drink that in the evening with some ice for like the super sweet flavors. Obviously, you're not eating anything, but if you're just getting that sweet tooth, look for that. I do that all the time. You can also make popsicles with those. Mix it up, make some popsicles, pop those in the evenings. If you want to be a child, you can definitely do that.
Right
I have
on.
one more thing that might be difficult on some macros, depending, but like dates, like medjool dates
Yeah.
with like a little bit of peanut butter and like a little piece of dark chocolate. I would just like make two or
Yeah.
three of those,
Mhm.
and oh my god, so good.
Dude,
Now
if you
it can get
if you have PB Fit, you can just like
yeah,
add a
PB
little
Fit would
water
work.
to that, and that like is a
That would be
game
the
changer.
yeah. I don't have that down here, but yeah, that I found dates like when I lived in California, and I was like, what have I been doing my whole life? But they are very they are carby, so you
Yeah,
have to be
but
very
they're nature's
careful.
candy.
They
Yeah,
are.
they are. They're so sweet, and then that combination with like peanut butter and a little piece of dark chocolate is just like
Mhm. Like a
money.
candy bar.
Yeah,
Richard,
so
I
good.
literally just had dates for the first time like last month. I went out and bought them after one of your posts, and I'm like, I gotta buy one of these.
Like buy a date tree. He's like, I'm buying a tree.
I ate like 4 or
They're-
5 because they were so good. And then I flipped over and I did it backwards. I looked at the macros and I was like,
That's the best way to do it.
it's awesome.
Wait, how much? What did I just eat? Oh, never mind. But yeah, they're so good. So yeah, that's even one or two, something like that, could be a good dessert. And if you get freaky with it, you could put them. You could dip them in melted dark chocolate too, and then put them in the freezer or the fridge.
Yep.
Oh, dude.
So
Yep.
yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
All right, dudes. Anything else? We're good. I'm gonna let you guys.
Thanks.
That was a great call. I appreciate you guys. I hope we answered some good questions. I know we didn't get all of them answered, but those were some highlight ones that I felt like were really important. So I appreciate you guys spending some time with me on Wednesday night and just like spending time with each other. I always love it. I love when you guys just continue to build relationships with each other. Remember, jump in the group this week, share something positive. Do that every week. I challenge you to that. All right. Have an amazing night, you guys.
Take care, everyone.
Later.
Later.
Adios. Adios.
Later.